and I'm number 2. And this is my second year of riding the Waves to Wine. I was number 2 last year in fundraising. I'm number 2 this year in fundraising, and I have MS.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good job. Have a good ride. Turn left and drop the camera people in the pole.
Hi, I'm Angie Lai. I'm on the board of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society for the Northern California chapter. I'm on the board because my mom was diagnosed with MS 20 years ago, and I'm passionate about helping not only my mom, but anyone else who has MS, living with the effects every day, and also the family members of those living with MS. Everyone needs to have a resource to know how to treat the symptoms, or who to look for advice, or just to actually have some support. I'm here, Wells Fargo is here to support those with MS, all the volunteers here, and we appreciate all of you guys coming out too.
I'm Kathleen. At 15 I had my first symptoms. I'm now 62. I was only diagnosed a couple of years ago, just before I turned 60. I think that's been the hardest thing, to know that I spent almost 45 years of my life not knowing what was happening, having other people judge because of that. Not real thrilled with the healthcare system, although now I'm getting good
personal
care.
Experience with MS through filming a documentary in Chicago. A man that was introduced to me was a former pro baseball player who's diagnosed with MS, and he's actually underwater in medical bills because he couldn't support the treatments. And so somebody who came so high and then fallen so far was pretty hard to see.
My name's Rebecca Jackson, and I'm riding in the MS ride because my very good friend's husband was recently diagnosed with MS, and it's been, and I'm a doctor, and it's been an amazing thing to see someone suffer. When you're a doctor, you see patients suffer all the time, but when your close friend and their family starts going through it, it becomes much more personal. But I've gotten great strength from both of them because they are really strong people, and they took it in stride, and they said, we're just gonna keep living our lives, and they organized all of us at work to ride in this bike ride. We work at San Francisco General Hospital. Most of us are gynecologists. We're called the menstrual cycles. This is a picture of the uterus hugging the brain.
So the interesting thing about MS is every drug that's on the market, we're really glad that it's there, but it's all new. So I'd say every other month or so, some insurance carrier will say, you're not taking the generic version, which doesn't exist. So they'll deny the claim, or I'll have a snarl with my insurance company, they won't pay my claims. And so I'll call my pharmacy, and I actually won't get the drugs. So for a good 6 weeks, I'll be off drugs, and I will go into full withdrawal from the medication, and then it will take weeks for me to get up to the normal dose that I should be taking therapeutically. So by being denied good paperwork, it's not even good insurance. I have great insurance. I have great income. I can't have access to my drugs because we are failing as a system in paperwork. And so my health is actually compromised by our own failure to have an efficient system.
It's because my mother actually had great insurance. I'm uninsured. I have 2 kids. They're uninsured. And I'm really frustrated with the American response to an attempt to change things for the better. So I really hope that something good can come out of this, because the way it is now is really wrong.
My name's Leslie, and I was diagnosed in 2000. This is my second MS Waves to Wine bike event. At one point I used to walk with a cane, and I do not. So that's pretty exciting. I was denied a claim because I'm on Tysabri, which is really expensive.
Right.
And they denied it, and then I had to go back and forth, and they approved it. But there's other drugs that are prescribed for people with MS to help different issues. fatigue, spasticity, all their pain. I have pain, things like that. And they're not exactly recommended for people with MS, and sometimes you have to fight for those. It's very expensive. You know, some of the drugs that are out there, they're just, if I didn't have a job, I don't know how I'd be able to make my copay on my drugs.
In San Francisco, I'm in one of the best places in the world to be sick. The downside of that, though, is, you know, if you lose it, what do you do, right? And that's, I think, the big question for healthcare in the country right now, if you lose it.
With the healthcare system, actually mine hasn't been that bad with MS. Had to jump through a lot of hoops, sometimes, you know, change insurance or not get enough prior authorization for medication, and, you know. And one time I actually went a week because the prior authorization didn't go through, went a week without my medication, but luckily someone in my support group had quit taking Copaxone, which is the drug I'm on, and they had a week's supply left. So we're not supposed to do that, but I took over their week's worth. They gave it to me, so I didn't miss any time.
A healthcare story. Well, you know, I had insurance and it kept doubling in price every year. It was horrible. And I finally got a better insurance, but it was very difficult. And I'm really hoping that Obama has some luck. No, luck's not the word. I hope that he can get this passed and change it. It is a moral issue. It's horrible that people who are sick have to worry about their health